Hey yo, what's up? Good morrows, my friends. My name is Silva Lowenhart, and welcome to today's stream, or tonight's stream. I said I was going to stream tonight, and I did. I should never specified how late I was going to stream, but it's whatever. Anyway, welcome. Ugh, man. It's been something of a week, let me tell you that much. Something of a week. Whoo boy. Well, it's going to be a bit of an interesting thing from here on out, but yeah, first off, I've been kind of feeling a bit under the weather. I've been sneezing quite a bit, and I think it's just allergy season flaring up today. Yeah, it's just allergy season. You know, you just got allergy, you're just sneezing like all over the place. Like, you're sneezing here, you're sneezing there, you're sneezing everywhere. It's just crazy. It really is just crazy. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze a few more times around this place, so be prepared. Be prepared for me sneezing. Is how it works. It won't get any better. Secondly. Well, there's no secondly. That was the first thing. Yeah, I'm just feeling a bit under the weather. You know. Nose is stuffed, and for some reason, I just not really... Like, sleep has been kind of weird lately. Like, I've been getting kind of enough sleep, not enough sleep. It's just me kind of worrying, at the same time kind of not. It's a weird thing. Kind of weird. Not sure how to actually describe it. I guess it's just that my life right now has been a huge topsy-turvy this whole time. And it's not really getting any better, to be perfectly honest. But I guess I'll just take care of that when I take care of it. You know, no biggie. There's been a lot of things going on this week besides anime. And that does include some of the content creator drama that's been going on, along with some VTuber drama. Though thankfully the VTuber drama is not as huge. But I have noticed something that's been going on with the VTuber trend lately. Let me just turn on some music because I feel like this is a little low. Alright, here we go. There we go. So anyway, what's going on lately with everything around here? Well, I think I discussed it before, but Twitch has something against VTubers. But I kind of noticed something interesting when it comes down to that. I noticed they only go after not every VTuber, but mostly female. I guess because they have way more freedom with what they how to, well, not with how they, well, not that they have more freedom, but it's the fact that when it comes to female VTubers, there's a lot more interest in how they dress to appeal to the audience, and sometimes it can come in the form of like chibi or quote unquote lolly, if you will. And also with the whole dress code thing, yeah, I don't think they really banned too many male VTubers as much as they banned female VTubers. Like, if you have a model that's pretty much all around sexy, yeah, I think that's pretty much where it goes. And some like to really test the limits of how much it can do. So, you know, that's the thing. Ugh. But yeah, I've seen a trend about lolly VTuber being banned. And apparently it didn't do anything, but I guess they kind of forgot to read the TOS where it said that Shada and lollies are kind of banned at this point. And yeah, I know some of the bigger ones do have that kind of models. Yeah, they have those kind of models, honestly. So it's a gray area at this point. Like, what does count as a ban, really? No one knows. Nobody knows what counts as a ban. All we know is that they're just going around doing it. it's uh, it's still up in the air, honestly. But I hope things get better down the line. I really hope things do get better down the line. But yeah, there's been a lot of things trending. That's one of few dramas. One recent drama that's been popping up so far is well, it just popped up, so I can't really say what's going on with it so far. But apparently, Jack's Films, as far as I know, they're talking about Fillion. And apparently have been criticizing her for quote unquote stealing content and not really doing enough to be her own person, I guess. But I can't say whatever. I can't say anything about it. I can't say anything about it, but that's the current trend that's going on right now. And I see again, feeling is part of the main issue. Also, there's the VTuber Awards, which a lot of people said, yeah, just don't support that anymore. Well, not a lot of people, but it's been word that, you shouldn't support that. I don't know. Then again, I never really pay attention to those kind of awards because sometimes they'll feel like, it's only made for like bigger content creators and not enough for the smaller ones. And even then, you have like literally thousands of VTubers out there that this can actually apply to. Literally thousands. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, that's just what's going on so far. I'm not gonna really comment on it too much, but that's just like the basis of what's going on. Someone's gonna react to for not doing this and doing that, and apparently people are saying that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Oh well. But there is something that a lot of VTubers and a lot of content creators are going through right now, and it's the fact that first off, Twitter is now becoming defunct because of its certain TOS changes that make people think that, okay, there's more support for AI than anything. And now everybody is moving over to Blue Sky. Yeah, I moved over to Blue Sky a while ago. Oh yeah, yeah. I have Blue Sky too. I noticed a lot of people have been following me on Blue Sky as well. Like I got a number of new followers, which is good. Which I'm not gonna question. Like, first off, thank you everybody on Blue Sky for following me. I'm glad we can actually try to support each other. I always support all those who follow me. I give them a thanks and say, hey, thanks for following me, and whether they decide to respond, it's up to them. But yeah, if you follow me on Blue Sky or even Twitter, I'm just gonna say hello back, unless you're a graphic effects artist. And that's something else I noticed. I noticed a lot of things. Like the first thing I noticed was that when it came to the VTuber ban on Twitch, it mostly affected female VTubers rather than male. Or at least if you have a female or feminine model, it affects you more than it affected everybody else. It doesn't really affect males because most males cover everything up. Like me, what's there to see when it comes to skin? Only my ears and my neck and literally nothing else. I don't even show my face. Maybe my fingers or my gloves, but that's it. I don't show anything else, so I'm completely safe even when I show off my complete new model. But I think that's something that, yeah, let's discuss that. That's probably something that a lot of people should really look at the TOS for. Like, if you're gonna, if the TOS may affect you, it's good to look at it thoroughly. Like, go into it and look at it to make sure that everything you're doing abides by the TOS, because if it does break it, you could risk a ban. So that's something you should do. Another thing I noticed is, the whole Twitter TOS thing. A lot of people are moving to Blue Sky, which is fine by me. I'm not really going to question why people don't move to Blue Sky. It's a interesting platform. But there's been a lot of Twitter alternatives. So, hopefully we'll see something different. Hopefully we'll see like this one go up in the future. I hope. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. What's this? I think there was something else I noticed so far when it came down to some of these. What else? Okay, there's been a lot of things that have been trending so far that I kind of wanted to. Oh yeah, this whole thing with Asmongold. I think we could probably talk about that for a bit. So to make a very, very, very long story short, Asmongold said something that wasn't exactly going along with everybody. A lot of people got it on him, and technically he got banned for Twitch for a few days, for at least 2 weeks, and he left a couple of his companies. The one thing I have noticed about Asmongold, at least for thing that a lot of people say, honestly, is that he's dirty, and almost nothing else. Like, I get it. Like, people have said a lot of things about how dirty he is. Like, oh, clean his room. He uses rats for like alarm clocks. He once swatted a roach off him on Scream. But I haven't really seen anything that says, what about the stuff he says? Like, can we criticize that? No, we criticize the fact that he's dirty, and I'm saying, okay. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not exactly. This is not me supporting him or anything like that, saying, oh, he wasn't wrong, he wasn't right. I'm just saying, is there any other criticism you could use against him that doesn't involve his hygiene? Because I feel like that's the only thing people attack him for, his hygiene. If you could find something, that'd be great. Or at least it'll be more substantial than just saying, oh yeah, he has poor hygiene. It's like, yeah, but you haven't heard the term wisdom from the gutter? Like, that's it. That is the thing. Like, you see some of these homeless people on the street, or some of these people that, are down in the luck or anything like that. And yet, for some reason, the stuff they say is like, oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. What else is there? So, yeah, I guess that's everything, honestly. So, I know I could probably talk about drama because drama is basically like the huge thing, but I just want to get a few things out the way that have been trending so far. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about other things. And what things to talk about? Well, anime. Why anime? Well, why not anime? We all like anime, right? So, let's get some of these reviews out the way, shall we? Let's get some of them out the way. We're going to be here for a while, so here's everything I'm watching. And sometimes, this is around the 3-episode mark where, while it's not exactly a concrete rule, some people do drop things at the 3-episode mark because it's an unwritten rule, or at least like an uncommon rule, that after 3 episodes, if the anime or show hasn't captured you by then, you're free to drop it at that point because you gave it a chance, you gave it a decent amount of time, and you're just not interested anymore. So with that said, let's see which ones failed and which ones succeeded. So, ReZero episode 3. So, heads up for everything, spoilers abound. So, ReZero episode 3. So, it was about Garfield and his relationship with his quote-unquote mother. And then they confirmed that that actually is his mom, but she lost her memory permanently and now has a new family. And it's not that he didn't think that she left him alone, but it's like his only memories of her when he was just but a young child. So now he's conflicted into trying to go back into his life, into her life, and staying out of it. But unfortunately now there's a huge crisis going on, and she needs his help. And then there's also the side of Subaru, who's now alone because Amelia's been kidnapped, Beatrice is out of remission, and now he needs to gather more allies to stop the current threat that's going on. Well, this is the kind of despair that ReZero is known for. You know, it kind of really puts Subaru in a position where he has to, like, you know, come up with things and try to do what he needs to do. It's difficult, but it kind of works. It does kind of work. I guess click on this and say, yeah. So it kind of works. But he does have things going against him. He has things going against him. So we'll see how exactly that turns out in the next episode. Because right now he needs a plan to get everything back to normal, and I'm pretty sure he's going to die a great number of times before everything goes back to normal. It'll be something. All right, next will be Arifueta. So this is the start of this third season, the second. So right now it's confirmed to have 16 episodes. I still have yet to watch some of the OVAs, but we're continuing off last left off with Hajime now going to where he needs to go, the Great Labyrinth. But now they have to stop along the way. First off with Shea's tribe. Yeah, see, it's right there. It's the synopsis. This is basically the whole episode, the whole first episode. After repelling demonic invaders, Princess Liliana leads the Highlight Kingdom in search of aid. Hajime decides to join her before tackling 2 remaining Great Labyrinths. Along the way, they learn of an attempted invasion that can lead the chief of the Haula tribe was captured by the Empire. Hajime vows to use every power he can to muster to make it right. Let's get this party started! But yeah, that's the whole first episode. I think I always liked Shea because she seems like the kind of character that was always left alone. So I'm kind of glad they're giving her a bit more spotlight here. And he's actually acknowledging that, you know, while she can't be strong for his sake, she's allowed to be vulnerable. I think that's what I want more out of some of these characters. It's like, you don't have to be strong just to appeal to, like, the whole crew. You're allowed to be vulnerable. So I'd rather allow her to be vulnerable than more than anything. And I want her to get a bit more respect. Like, give the rabbit girl some respect, please. You got 16 episodes. Give it to her. Onegai shimasu. Alright. Next, third episode. Dun dun dun. Alright. Dun dun dun. Third episode. So now we have the Granny coming in. And now both protagonists are going to train their powers in order to better control them. There's no time limit. So we're getting all the hijinks here. So we're going to get, like, I won't say all the hijinks, but now we're starting to get into the hijinks. But I still haven't really seen exactly what this is all known for. It's crazy. It's interesting. There's a bit writing on this. I'm not going to lie. There's a bit writing on this. So we're going to see exactly if the anime is Science Sorrow. Science Sorrow is the studio behind it. So we're going to see if they have what it takes to make the whole thing tick. I don't think I read too much of the manga, and I don't really hear anything too special about it. So we're gonna see exactly, like, if it, like, lives up. We're gonna see that. Next is Danmachi episode 3. So it's just more of the date. Nothing really special is happening so far. It's just more of the date. But sometimes you do need something slow before you get into the whole nitty gritty. But I do have a feeling that something special is going to happen. They kind of like they kind of like foreshadowed. I don't know if foreshadowed, like lampshade that something's going to happen. Like, they're still going through, but yeah, I feel like something big's going to happen during the 4th episode. It's going to like lead into the big conflict of the whole thing. So we're going to see exactly how that happens. We got 15 episodes. JC Staff, you've done well so far. So let's see if you can do better. Alright. Next would be Shangri-La Frontier. I finally did watch it. And yeah. We're getting to the whole thing. So, there's no synopsis, but we got 25 episodes. Like I said, there's 2 cores. So we're in for the long run with this one. We're going to have a lot of interest in this one. So, it's basically just 10 episodes of Sun Raku and gang. You know, you got Pencil Gon and the others following him into the labyrinth. He's teamed up with Emiru and her gang. So we're gonna see exactly how this works out. Let's see how this works out. It's kind of getting back into the form. The opening is still pretty good. Like, they always have some pretty decent openings. And you always like to see Sunraku like overcome things with his build, like a very fragile but speedy build. And all the stuff he's got from Weatherman. Like, that was the whole highlight of the first season. Like, Weatherman. Like, Weatherman. That was the whole highlight of getting him like up to speed when it comes to his power. So, we're going to see how that works out. Next, Hitori Bochi, episode 4. It's just them more traveling. You know, him, Loner Bochi getting with the people. Trying to lead his classmates. Nothing special too far. It's not boring, but it's nothing special so far. It's just, loner life in another world. Unfortunately, they're not really playing the whole loner life thing. He's kind of just trying to do his own thing. So we're waiting to see exactly how that translates. How that's going to work out. Well, we just gotta wait and see, I suppose. It's not always well, we just gotta have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah, not much to say. Next, Nageki no Bure. I think I have to wonder if the guy is actually a level 8. It seems like he kind of is, but he's getting like boosts from like his rings. So I gotta wonder how much is his actual native power and how much is the rings. That's the one question I really do have for it. How much is the native power? How much is the rings? Gotta kind of hint that the rings give him more of a strength than he needed, but I just want to wonder how much is the actual native power of his. Like, I wonder. Otherwise, it's mostly just about the rookie team, like working together in this battle, realizing like their past lives weren't really like what they learned from their past endeavors with other people. Like looking at their faults and learning from them. So it's basically development for the rookie team, but then it kind of questions how much of the protagonist's power is from the rings and how much is the actual like legitimate power. We'll have to see at some point. Next, Party Kara Suiho. So, I've read some of the manga, and the one thing I will have to say is kind of out of whack. Well, not out of whack. It's kind of oddly paced. It's kind of oddly paced, and I'm not sure like how strong is this guy. He could be stronger than necessary, but it's not exactly said. So we still questionable, to be perfectly honest. Still 100% questionable. I'm still trying to keep up with it, but who knows? I may have to just go to the manga and it may drop this. I don't know. I'm kind of worried. Then Gun Gale Online. It's more or less the same as Gun Gale. If you've seen Gun Gale, if you've seen Sword Art, it's kind of more or less the same. There's no Kirito. It's just kind of focusing on these guys. they have a nice strategy of bunkering inside a abandoned freight car and shooting from the holes, and knowing that it's basically like any sort of battle royale where, you know, you kill. Yeah, that's what the whole thing is. It's a battle royale. Amy says a new battle royale deathmatch. It's tournament. So it's a battle royale. That's really it. You're just kind of wondering like how many people are gonna like befriend, how many people are gonna make it, all the rivalries they're gonna have, all the showdowns. The next episode is in 11 hours, so tomorrow, basically, by this point, is going to be a new episode on Friday the 18th. So there's that. So I can't wait to see how that works out. Next is Kimwa Maid-sama. So it's basically just her getting more humane. It's really it. That's not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing to humanize people. And they adopt a dog too, and they do reveal the clumsy side of her as that she is afraid of dogs, despite the dog being nothing more than just Mochi incarnate. But she learns that, hey, you know, they give her a name, Yuki. So we have a name now attached to this person. And now she's learning to just realize that being a life of an assassin is not all it's cracked up. Well, I would say it's not all it's cracked up to be, but more like it's fine. But now you can actually learn to actually humanize emotions until they start putting in something that's like more, so they probably throw in a subplot where her past comes back to haunt her. So I feel like that's gonna happen maybe at the end of the series. At the end of this anime, they're gonna put something that's gonna haunt her or really remind her of her old ways. So we're gonna see how that works out. Next, 2.5B Jingen Risa. So now I can actually start talking about some of these that I'm actually watching for now. So it's just more about cosplay, getting, Risa making more friends in cosplay and trying to get over the anxiety, because a lot of people within the anime industry, the anime fandom have anxiety problems. Again, it's my JC staff, so they could do some good work. It's really it. Also, they answered a new girl in there who says he has to cosplay no matter what. I did read spoilers about why she's doing it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I did read spoilers. I'm not reading a manga, but yeah, we're gonna see exactly how far that goes. Next is Waju Shushi. So, Noel abandoned everybody, and I realized his last name is Stolen. So, Noel Stolen. That's an interesting name, not gonna lie. Anyway, he finally teams up with her, so she appears, and now they're teamed up and are doing what they need to do. Like, now they're on a mission. And I kind of realized I think this is a short. I'm not exactly sure. I forgot. I don't know. How many episodes is this? Let me see. Alright, let me see if I can find it. Because it should be around here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't say so far. Alright, I guess you could look. Yeah, I gotta look for a little more. Alright, it doesn't say exactly. But I feel like it's a short at this point. I do feel like it is a short. I've been looking a lot, so I feel like it's a short. You have two internets open. Shut up. But yeah, it's basically just him, like, basically her being the granddaughter of the person that will the person that was basically a huge assassin, and apparently their grandfathers were rivals, and she's at least older than him. So I don't think there's any romance going on between the two, but you never know. That's how some of these anime work. You never know about the romance. All right, next would be Mao 2099. I finally watched the first episode, and to get out of the way, Toa-sama. She does appear, along with some Hololive ID. So that's something. Anyways, there's still 12 episodes. It's from a light novel, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll. I think I said this before. Anyway, Demon Lord wakes up in the modern century and now has to adjust to life. So basically, it's just him waking up, being weaker, trying to adjust to life, having a very low subordinate wait for him, and so now we're going to get into it. The second episode hasn't come out yet. This is all just for the world first episode. It's all just the first episode. We're waiting to see how it works out. It's interesting. 2099. It kind of makes me funny that Hololive is still around in the year 2099. Like, and Toa's still around. I guess, well, she is the Toa Maji Tenchi. She lives even when we all, like, fade away. Our mortal coils cease to exist. But she will live forever and ever. I think that's funny. Incidentally, I wonder how long it will last. But, that's something for another time. We're never going to worry about that. We shouldn't. We should not. Oh, man. Kekkon Surute. Now, the third episode actually surprised me. Because basically the male MC now was walking around with a princess. And many people thought that the princess was just like some kind of party girl who takes all sorts of men back to her homes and, they get the little going on. And it turns out that's not the case. As it turns out, she's actually gay. As in, she as a woman that the princess, the blonde princess, that's the woman she actually loves, and is only marrying another man because they said that she's actually married. She's doing it for political reasons. He's only hanging around other dudes just to make her love not worry. But then that starts to rumor that she's aware of that she basically is a very party girl and is very quite open. But all she wants is just a regular normal marriage with her love. So I think the whole thing that got to me was the fact that they never really honed in on the fact that, yeah, she's actually gay, because some shows actually do that, but it's more just like she wants to have a very loving marriage and is looking towards these two in order to see what one will be like. So, I just hope that, hey, it all works out for her, and it kind of just continues, and hope these two work out, because it seems like it is working out. So, yeah. That's what was surprising. You got me. Amagi-san-chi. I watched the third episode. And it's basically just all of them going to marriage interviews with this guy. Honestly, I think I liked the second episode the best because it kind of showed that, when they don't like him, he's more than willing to just abandon them. But they followed him anyway. I kind of want more of that, to be perfectly honest. Like, when you got the MC not really, like, falling towards the tropes of, oh, I like you because, you're cute and whatnot. Like, no matter what they do to this guy, as long as they're cute, he'll let them get away with it. I kind of want him to have more of a backbone and start calling him out on his, like, you don't get away with it because you're just, you're young and cute looking. Like, no. You do something wrong, I will reprimand you. I will knock you upside the head if I have to. I want more of that for some of these MCs and some of these harems. So that's why I like the second episode, because it had that. The third episode, it does show the weaknesses, but it wasn't enough for me personally. But hey, I can't really be too angry at it. Maybe the next episode might cheer me up. But I know it's 24 episodes. We got plenty of time with this one. We're gonna see how it works out. So dive. Do me well. Then Uzumaki, which I realize only has 4 episodes. And so the next episode is the last one. So for all the hype this one got, the first episode was busted. The second episode was was a huge downgrade. The third episode kind of went back to it. So I guess we'll wait to see how the fourth episode does it, because now it's showing a ton of spirals. Jesus Christ, spirals. Let's just say if you haven't really been afraid of spirals before, you might want to be afraid of them now because of how they can actually make everything look like. You look at your fingertips, you see spirals. You look at anything around you, you might see a spiral there somewhere. It's that creepy. I mean, even one of the protagonist's mom, she cut her own fingertips off because they represented spirals. It's squeamish. And apparently the problems just keep getting worse. But I like that there's no explanation about it. It just happens and now everybody's just dealing with the aftermath. It's all psychological, but it's also avant-garde. Which, I gotta look it up actually. What the hell is avant-garde? I know that's a term. Avant-garde. So avant-garde is new and unusual or experimental ideas, especially in the arts or the people introducing them. So I guess it's that new. Like, what do people usually be afraid of? Spirals is not something, but hey, if this is something, hey, if Junji Ito can make you afraid of anything, then he can definitely try spirals. So that's what avant-garde is. Yeah, I had to look it up myself. Alright. Next up would be Rise Watani. So it's just more of them getting used to each other in the second episode. You know, she's pretty much afraid of him because he's not exactly the kind of normal teenager you would expect from a Yakuza. But then again, he's more really into it. So there's still a bit of mystery around him. Meanwhile, he's realizing that she shows more of a backbone when pushed against the wall. Like, she wants a normal life, but when pushed against the wall, that's when she kind of shows her Yakuza traits, and that's the thing he likes. This episode kind of deals with somebody who ran away that's around their age, and basically their reaction to it. Like, you know, she's learning more about how he gets into the whole thing, and he's learning more about what makes her tick. It's a thing. So we'll see how this works. We'll see how this works. I realize the title here is also like Yakuza Fiance Rise wa Tani Gai. Okay. Talk about double title, but whatever. Next, Ramna 1/2. It's the same as Ramna. They introduce some of the characters you haven't seen. Introduce some of the characters you've seen if you watch the original. I'm glad that most of the voice cast from the original are back. And they act like, hey, they never left. So I can't wait to see exactly how more this goes in. You know, it is simultaneously subbed and dubbed. So if you like the dub, then go ahead. You like the sub, then go ahead. Dragon Ball Daima I already talked about. Kamahashi Ran, the second episode. It continues off and it's kind of going after Ran. You know, setting up things so he can actually solve stuff. Oh, excuse me. Whew. 13 episodes. So we just have a limit to how many episodes are going to be here. It's getting into the nitty gritty, you know, it's getting to the whole thing. It's still continuing the mystery from the first episode. You know, it's like the House of M is going after Ron. And how they're doing so, excuse me, I'm just rubbing my eye out doing. So how they're doing it is they're setting up like a lot of stuff for Ron to solve. You know, test his Sherlock Holmes brain to figure stuff out. And he's doing so far. But you know, like, I realized that Ishiki, this guy, he's actually learning more about it. Like, he's not exactly becoming incompetent. He's kind of following along with him and basically just trusting him more because of the fact that, well, now they're a team. I just wish that this girl right here, she was more kind to him. But, you know, you can't always have your cake and eat it too. Alright, next would be Suma Shogakse. So this episode kind of talked about the fact that, yeah, it's a very good possibility that the husband will actually fall for somebody else because while he's still in love with his wife, she's now a child, and that can cause a whole bunch of terrible implications. Meanwhile, the daughter, they said there is a bit of a thing that may be a romance later on that I've seen. But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's basically just talking about the fact that while they can be family in a private setting, in a public setting, it's a bit more complicated. Because, he was expected to move on, but apparently it's not really all his fault that the family fell apart. Like, he still likes his wife, and she unfortunately up and left. And the daughter's also grieving as well. It's basically just a family that's grieving, that's trying to get back together now, which is good. I like that kind of stuff. I like it. So that's the third episode, and it kind of talks about the possibility of the father falling in love with somebody else, but we'll see how that works out. Next would be Rurouni Kenshin. So we got Kenshin with Ninja Girl. They're traveling. He stops at a village, and then you got this dude coming in. If you can see my mouse covering it, this dude coming in to see the survey the whole thing. Everybody else traveling into Kyoto to meet Kenshin. That's really it. It's really just a remake of the whole thing. So if you watched Kenshin before, it's a remake. Probably faithfully, probably not. Well, we'll see. Next, Hoshifuru. So episode 2. So she learns of this dude's younger brother. She has a chance to leave, but she decides to stay for personal reasons. I don't know if it's going to be a reverse harem, but I don't know. Maybe it might not be for me. I do wish there would at least. I honestly do wish there was more female characters in here. Otherwise, that's why this can be really just a reverse harem. I'm gonna lie. It's not a bad thing to have a reverse harem, but But I think the problem with reverse harem, at least for me, is that it kind of makes the girl way too vulnerable to a lot of the male advances. Like, they push her against the wall, suddenly all strength left. Oh my god, he's coming after me. What do I do? And that's just me. Mega Ude. Okay, so I was right. I said it before, it is trigger. It's not going to trigger, but it is kind of trigger-ish. But yeah, they finally gave him that power up. So that's good. Otherwise, the third episode was basically just about like setting out to make it seem like he needed them, or like he was just useless. But then he got the power up, so now everything's fine, I guess. Hello, Sprockets. How's everything? Everything good? I hope so. Review this week's anime. I will have the content. I will have the VOD up after this whole stream is done. So if you want to watch the rest of my ramblings, you're free to do so. So yeah, I'm glad that it happened. It's the original, so I can't say any more about it. But I'm glad they gave him his power up. Otherwise, I would have just been like, well, is he going to be there for something? So now they might have to respect him. Hopefully. I see the green guys here, and they body him, so is he going to join them or something? Maybe. We'll find out. Next would be Sengoku Yoko. So we're now gathering all the allies. They've realized that Pigtail Girl is back with the pink hair. So now it's basically just gearing up for like a huge battle at this point. And I totally forgot her name. Let me look it up real fast. Oh yeah, Shakugan. Okay, so Shakugan is back. I had to look it up. I do apologize, but Shakugan is back. So now they're gearing up for a huge battle. I can't wait to see how all that folds. Next, Yokai Gakko. Basically just getting used to, basically just looking at more of the students that appear here. You know, getting used to some of the lore and everything, and that was the last thing I watched while I was loading up the stream. So my memory's a little hazy about it, but yeah, it's just basically basically just like getting used to more of the students and learning about everything that goes on in the world. That's really it. Not much else to say. I don't know, Miburo hasn't come up yet, so we still haven't yet to see that. Neki Posey Angler. So this is episode 3 of Neki Posey Angler. So these two debt collectors came back, and now these two are kind of living together. He takes on his debt, basically putting him on a repayment plan, trying to give him a new lease on life. But the second episode actually had to end in the end, run away after claiming he had a stomachache and avoiding everybody until they finally meet him back at a fishing competition. So I guess they pretty much are all connecting through fishing. It's not bad. Like, he does have a very tragic backstory, and if the whole thing is basically about him having a good lease on life through fish, like, with fishing and trying to enjoy what money he has left, then that's fine. I'm just not sure if the whole thing really gels together as much as I want it to. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just not too sure at this point if the whole thing really gels or if it's going to gel throughout the whole season. Sometimes you take two radically different genres and mash them together, right? Or two different ideas at this point and mash them together. And it kind of feels like one has way more interest over the other because there's a lot of possibilities you could have over it. But then you realize, no, the second part does have to happen. And while you're not exactly I'm not exactly like turned off by it, you kind of wonder if this is going to have like some sort of like huge implication to it. Well, not huge implication, like, what am I trying to say? It's not that you're turned off by the second part, but it's the fact that you kind of wonder if the second part is going to have anything more interesting besides them just going fishing. Or at least, like, you know, is it like, are you going to be bored by it? Because it's not exactly something everybody really can relate to. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. We'll have to see. Next would be Wild Sky. Yeah, it still got the same kind of vibes as Little Witch Academia, and it still kind of continues on to it. The second episode, I already said that. I already talked about this. So no need to talk about it any further. Aqua Trip, unfortunately, you're going to have to be dropped. It's just not interesting anymore. It's just not that interesting. It's not as terrible as you think, but it's not that interesting to me. Like, I kind of struggled just getting through it, unfortunately. Ugh. Whew, boy. Alright. I'm gonna get to the last few anime, then I'll be right back. Hi, Gakura. God, I gotta do something real fast. I gotta do something for a bit. But yeah, Aqua Trip, I didn't hate it. Okay, it's coming down. But oh boy. Hey, Aqua Trip, I didn't hate it, but it just didn't interest me. I don't know. None of the characters really just jet out to me, unfortunately. It's not his fault, but Aqua Trip just didn't hold my interest anymore. So unfortunately, I had to drop it. Hi Gakura. I only watched the first 2 episodes, and I honestly thought this was a girl. Turns out it's a guy. And basically they're going around to save his adopted father. So they're coming over a whole sorts of people along the trip. It's part of a manga. It's only 13 episodes, and you can watch it on ENvtuber or Prime Video. So not easy to catch, but hey, now you know where to catch it. So the first 2 episodes were just dealing with like spirits that do this and do that. I think this kind of confusing because there's some modern stuff mixed with spiritual stuff, but it's all fantasy. So I guess I can kind of forgive it, but yeah, it's a strange mixture between modern society because it has cell phones and everything, and spiritual society. Nothing like Yu Yu Hakusho, but kind of similar. Next would be Hokaku Shou no Hanako-kun. I'll let me some Hanako-kun. Hachimaru-yo? It's basically just shorts like with Hanako-kun. That's really it. I wonder what the actual second season is going to start with this, because that's what I want to see. It's only 4 episodes, and it's running time of 10 minutes. I wonder what the actual second season of this is going to show, because they said there's a second season, I believe. So I'm just wondering when that's going to happen. And then lastly is Trillion Game. So thankfully these two are a very well gelled team. They're a very well gelled team, because he's the brain, because one is basically the brains and one is all the charisma. Like, one just, like, you got one that does things behind the scenes and one that's basically the face of the whole game. It works. It works because when you're the face, you gotta know what to say and how to say it. And it works because he'll basically just tell you, yeah, I don't know this, I don't know that, but I can never tell you that, you know, it's basically genius and street smarts combining together. That's really how it is. The genius is more shy and the street smarts is way more out, is like the huge face. And again, like I said, you already know they became trillionaires. This is just basically how they got to the whole thing. So I'm loving it so far, and it just got the dub treatment. So, if you haven't watched the dub, you can watch the dub. But yeah, this is Trillion Game. I do like that she's part of it. Like, she wants them. Like, you could tell there's some, like, sexual tension, but you don't know if it's actually, like, real sexual tension or it's just, like, playing out just to get people interested. It's a mystery, but I like it that it's a mystery. I like that it's a mystery. So now like the top 12 of the hacker thing. So we're gonna see exactly how it works out. I feel they're going to win because, of course they will. But yeah. Otherwise, that's the review for this week. So overall, I got a lot of it out the way. I took my time, but I got a lot of it out the way. I don't know when I'll do this kind of stream again, but yeah. So far, the season's looking pretty solid. I just gotta make sure I keep up with it as much as I should. There's another anime I do want to get out the way, but I will get out the way probably tomorrow. Hopefully. Because I got other things I need to do for the most part. But yeah. I just need to get out the way. Because I haven't streamed in long. But that's my review. That's my anime review for this week. Hopefully we'll talk a little more and probably do a little more gaming this week. Maybe something tomorrow? I don't know. I've been focusing on streaming and stuff like that. But yeah. That's all from me for today. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Love, peace, of ENvtuber. See ya.